say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The following broadcast is an official production of the Faulkner Sports Network.
Yeah, it's playing aggressive. It's good. Which, by the way, we have a big team fight here. Moniker going crazy, immediately getting the kill there on... Okay, immediately picking up kills on both their jungler and their top laner. That does give us the Herald, almost guaranteed. We are able to pick up the kill on... Zombie is able to pick up the kill on Skarner, and unfortunately Malphite ends up killing Kennen, I just realized, in the top lane. But really good engage. We do get Dragon off this. That is amazing for us. This is exactly the win we needed.
It's going to be a team wipe.
Zombie's still fighting. She flashes out. She does good. She lives. Everyone's still fighting. Kaizen goes down. Yasuo on the zombie. Gets locked down by the Bounyalith. Yasuo does not get him. Does not get him at all. That was a 4v5.
That was a 5-for-0 for Faulkner. Absolute
awesome
domination.
Way to go, Faulkner. That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
And welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us here for our production. Tonight's game is going to be League of Legends versus Iowa State University. Sorry, little snafu there. The Iowa State University Hawkeyes are going to be going up against us this evening, and this should be a really good game. So we will be getting underway here in a little bit, but I was just made aware of something. So what's going to happen here is that the game is actually going to be delayed, and we've got, let's see, it looks like the other team has requested, because they have a guy that's running a little late, so they're going to be waiting for just a few minutes. So we wanted to go ahead and start the broadcast, but we also did not want to leave you guys hanging, or since it was such late notice, like, we want to be on and ready so that whenever they do start gameplay that we're not going to be falling behind. So what we have opted to do is we're going to stay here. We're going to intro the stream and everything, but we're probably going to take a little bit of a break. And as you can tell, my broadcast partner also not here yet. So, or he may not be here at all. We have not heard. I can't get in touch with him. I don't know what's happened. I hope he's okay. But that's about all I can do right now. So we will do a quick intro, and we'll see where we are then. And we will let you know, and then if we have to, we may go to a break and let y'all see some like past game footage or something like that. And we'll make sure that you're taken care of, and you got some League of Legends to watch either way. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our player intro. So let's go ahead and meet the team.
Playing mid lane, the captain, FrisbeeMeniscus, Charlie Grete. Playing jungle, the lieutenant, Imblu, Seth McGaughy. Playing support, Zoombie, Bounyalith. Playing ADC, Kaizen, Chalchi. The top laner, Rapter Klaw, Dixon.
Okay, so you can see that that's the team, and we're going to take a quick peek inside Regitar USA High-Res Arena. And you can see Ethan and Abby there on the side, Abby in the middle there. She's the one standing. Now, you might not be able to tell that she's standing because she is quite vertically challenged, but I promise that is her, and she is actually standing. And then we've got... the look she's giving me right now. And then we also have, you might be wondering why there's a third person over there. That is our good friend Brock Eckenrod. He actually has Counter-Strike practice tonight, so he'll be in the arena. He's not actually playing League of Legends. He's doing Counter-Strike stuff, but he is actually in there right now. And then over on the other side, we've got Josh and Charlie. And you can see Josh over there posing for the camera, Charlie. And Abby's getting back in. And now she's strangling Josh. No! Somebody stop her! No. They're having a good time. You can tell that they're in a delay because that's why you've got this going on here. And I got to be honest, like, we've got Ethan, we've got Abby, we got Charlie, we got Josh. I don't know what happened to Seth. Where's Seth going? I haven't seen Seth. Oh, Seth must be outside. Oh, well. Poor Seth. We don't know what happened to him. And we're actually missing other Seth, too. I don't know. Both of the Seths have gone missing. I don't know if their name is related to that or what's going on here. But there's Ethan having a grand old time over there. The zoom in is a little scary. We've gotten a little too close. Too close for comfort. But... it's like that one scene from Aladdin where he goes, close, a little too close. And then there's, of course, Abby, who is just trying to hide right now behind her hair. And then that's what we've got right now. And then, of course, on the other side, we got Charlie, who is harnessing the power of the sun. He is absorbing as much yellow sunlight to augment his Kryptonian DNA so he can fly and use heat vision and all that fun stuff. So his screen, he turned his screen brightness down or something, I don't know. And then, of course, you got Josh over there directly underneath the championship plaque over there on the wall, won by the Smash Bros. Blue team, and of course our other championship plaque from Rocket League from a few years back. So, by the way, the blue team, of which Josh is captain, looking to do a repeat maybe. We're hoping for it anyway. So hopefully that will happen. We're looking forward to that, seeing if they can repeat, because right now they're only a few games away from a perfect season and undefeated, ranked number 1. So we'll see. I mean, it's a tough league to play in, tough one to win, but Blue Team is doing an extremely good job, and we're hoping that they can go all the way with it. They've already clinched into the playoffs, so that's not a big that's not news. But Josh is aiming for that perfect season, and hopefully he can get it. We'll see. And it looks like they're actually doing something on Seth's computer. I'll tell you what, though, while we have and of course, as soon as we cut away from the as soon as we cut away from it, Seth actually shows up. Yeah, there's Seth. Seth, you're late, man. What's going on? No, he's not. He was just outside. He knew about the delay. Anyway, so We will get underway here hopefully soon. I'm looking at the chat right now. The other team has not said anything time-wise, so we are still looking into that. But we will probably take a break here in just a second. Before we do, we want to tell you about our fantastic sponsor, and that, of course, is Corsair. Corsair, we love their products. We love their stuff. They have everything that you could want if you're a gamer. They've got all the equipment for you. You can see, as you just saw in the arena, all of our PCs are Corsair. All of our peripherals are Corsair, our mice, our keyboards, everything. And the reason that we do it is two reasons. First of all, it's really nice equipment that's going to last you a long time. And because of that, especially with the school and wanting to make sure, because I mean, each of these PCs, it's an expensive endeavor to have an esports team, and we want it to be less expensive. Therefore, we buy Corsair products not only because they're affordable, but also because despite being affordable, they're also going to last a really long time. And because of that, we prefer using Corsair parts. We prefer having the Corsair PCs, the Corsair keyboards, the Corsair headsets, and they've been here for 3 years. And I think the only time we've ever had something of theirs break was one of the headsets, and it was just because it wasn't even like the electronics. The headset itself worked fine. The middle part, the plastic snapped, and that was literally the only problem we've ever had with one, and that was our own fault because of the way that he jerked on it. So extremely durable parts. Going to be able to last you a really long time. They do the job. They do it well. And our producer, David, actually was saying earlier that he was building a PC himself, and he said part of the reason he was looking at it is they have really nice parts. And then, of course, they have their Elgato line, which is more for streamers. So when it comes to streaming, you want to be able to talk to your audience. You want to be able to relate directly to them, but you don't want there to be a lot of distraction. And that's why it's really important to be able to just press a button on their Stream Deck and do whatever you need to do, whether it's activating something on your soundboard, whether it's changing your scene or changing your view so that you're seeing more or less of the game, more or less of yourself. The Stream Deck is extremely versatile. It can be programmed with a number of different programs. We're even using it on our professional grade TriCaster right now. So anything that you can do for that, anything that you want to do streaming wise, they're going to have something for you. I'm reading this off of a prompter right now, the Elgato prompter, so be sure to check them out. Elgato.com, Corsair.com. They have great equipment. It's equipment that's going to work really well. It's going to last you a long time, and you will not be sorry that you chose a Corsair product, so be sure to check them out today. All right, so still nothing from the other team. So I think wait. No, actually, they did just say something. So what they've decided to do is the player that was running late, they think something may be wrong because they've tried to reach out to him and he's not responding. So they've decided to sub in. So instead of having the player that they were waiting on, they're just going to sub in one of their alts, which I believe... Yeah, so let me just clarify this because I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Mistakes. Yeah, so what's going on here is they did check in, but they checked in 5 people, including the guy that was going to play, but he wasn't able to arrive. So they have checked in 5 players, but they're actually going to sub out one of their alts for the guy that checked in. Of course, that could be a violation, but we're not going to call them to the fire on that. When it is a guy, he is registered, he is on their team, he's just not in the list of players that got checked in just now. So because of that, shouldn't be a big deal. We're good with playing them as is, and we should be getting underway here in just a minute. They said about 3 minutes ago, they said, hey, we're going to need about 5 minutes for him to load in, if that's okay. We, of course, agreed to it. So it looks like we're actually not going to get to a delay. We can just go ahead and go into the game here in just a minute. I will say, with the team and everything that's going on here today, I have really, really appreciated how the team has been putting themselves together. They've been running several different experimental team comps, and some of them have worked, some of them have not, but they've seemed to have found the ones that work the best based on a few different things. But it seems like they're doing really well. So we will see how that works, if they're going to be able to do that. And still no word yet from my co-host, so I don't know if he's going to be here or not. You may just be stuck with me, and I apologize for that, but I'll do the best that I can to soldier on and give you some insightful commentary for the league game. And I will also be doing the Smash Bros. Black game that is going to be coming up right after this, so we should have a little bit of a lull. I'm hoping this game doesn't go 3 hours, but with the delay it'll probably be a little closer to that, but we'll probably be on delay for at least a little while, and then we will go into that Smash Black game, which is against North Carolina Chapel Hill. And they're a really good team. They're ranked number 1 in their league right now. So if the Smash Bros. Black team can win that game tonight at 9, then that means that they will really climb in the rankings. In fact, let's go ahead, and speaking of rankings, while we're waiting here, let's go ahead and look and see what the league ranks are for League of Legends. Just to give you guys some frame of reference. Okay, so right now in our division, which is ranked 5 East, Platinum 3 and below, we have the University of South Dakota, 5-0, who played very well. Ranked in second place is Faulkner and Rochester. And by the way, that's important to note because we actually did defeat Rochester. So even though our points are the same, we have the head-to-head. So if there was ever a tiebreaker on that, we would wind up coming out in first on that one. So even though we're technically tied right now, we are not likely to be tied long-term because we don't play each other anymore. We've already played each other. Theoretically, we could wind up with the same record, but we're both sitting in second place at 4-1. In fact, University of South Dakota is the only team that Faulkner has lost to. So we've got High Point left. We're going to be playing them next, and they are currently ranked 6th in the league. So that is that is kind of an indication of where they are. And let's see. Oh, and I should mention, also ranked at number 2, even though they have one more loss, I guess they've played an extra game, is Albertus Magnus, which is the team that I said that we lost to University of South Dakota, but actually that is not correct. I don't think we've played them yet. I was thinking of Counter-Strike. Albertus Magnus is the team that we lost to, so they were really good, and you remember that one went down to a game 3, absolutely went down to the wire, but they were not able to be successful in that one, unfortunately. And are we getting picks and drafts here, David, on their PCs? Is that the are we in pick and draft phase? It doesn't look like it. Let me check on my PC before you throw that up there. I mean, that's the server, yes, but I don't think they've actually started yet. Yeah, I think that they've only pulled up the page. I don't think the picks and drafts or the picks and bans have actually started yet. They're not in the draft phase, I don't believe. Let me pull up Charlie's PC real quick. Yeah, so they're going to be doing pick and draft in a second, but they haven't, or pick and ban in a second, but they haven't started yet. So we will let you know whenever that starts, and we'll let you know what they're doing. Just so we, but yeah. So the rest of the team we're playing tonight, ISU JV, I believe, is the one we're playing tonight. Let me take a look at them, see what their record is, how they're ranked, that kind of thing. Yes, they are the one we're playing tonight, and they are currently ranked in 5th. So, but I mean, you got to keep in mind there's only 7 teams. So, being ranked 5th, you don't want to rest on your laurels just because they're ranked in the bottom half of the league. They could still beat you if you're not careful and watching, staying on your toes. Okay, it looks like we actually are starting the pick ban. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Yeah, so you can see the pick bans. It looks like of the pick bans that we've currently got, they have banned Volibear, and we have banned Misfortune, which makes sense because we always seem to struggle with Misfortune. So that's who we have banned for right now. And it looks like we have picked Viego and Urgot. We've had a lot of luck with Urgot recently. You've seen Ethan top laning Urgot quite a bit, and that has done well. We've also seen some Viego play before, so it wouldn't surprise me if Charlie's going to be mid laning Viego. And on the other side, they have picked Renekton. Now, I will say this. Renekton is... he's tough if you have somebody that knows how to use him. He's one of those very high skill ceiling characters to where if the person is really good with him, he is a pain to deal with. And if it's someone who just kind of knows what to do with him, he's actually not that difficult. So how tough Renekton is going to be is largely based on the skill of the player themselves. And then we've got Rammus, who is probably going to be jungle, I would assume. And we've also got Ahiri, Catgirl, who is also in the new fighting game from the, why am I blanking on it? It's like 2KO or something like that. It's the new League of Legends fighting game. It's in the Riot client. I'm looking forward to playing it. I have not had a chance to play it yet because of how much I've had going on. Okay, so, and we're back in the ban phase, and I would also like to mention that we've got Aurelion Sol, who is traditionally more of a mid lane character. He's a champ that you typically throw out there in mid lane, but Josh has been playing him as a DPS, and it's working really well. And I think it has a lot to do because, of course, he is designed as a mid laner, but because he scales so hard with the Stardust, you're going to see him do a lot of damage at late game, which is what the DPS is typically expected to do. Kind of squishy and not useless, but certainly not 2x KO. Thank you, David. But you don't typically what you're looking for from an ADCer is you're looking for somebody who is going to be squishy and kind of difficult and needs protection, which is why they have the support down there with them in the bot lane, but then scales really hard and is really powerful and difficult to deal with because of how much damage they're dealing in the late game. And so Aurelion Sol not traditionally built for that, but that's kind of what he becomes because of his Stardust mechanic if you build him the right way. And then we have Nefiri in our side. I would assume... well, I said earlier that Viego was going to be the mid lane, but I gotta say, I've seen Charlie play a lot of Nefiri, and I think that you might see him as the mid laner. Also, on the other side, they have opted for Jinx as their ADC. So that's going to be interesting. Jinx, a difficult character to deal with. She does deal a lot of damage. She has I wouldn't say a super varied arsenal, but a decently, she doesn't just do one thing. She can do multiple things. She has the guns and the rockets. She has the big rocket for her ultimate. She has the traps, so she can really put a damper on the other team's mobility. And then we've got Hui, so that's going to be our support. And then Morgana, which is for the other team. So we now know who is who on there. And I'm not sure... because I'm actually seeing a different screen than you guys. Oh, no, you're seeing the same one. All right, well, in that case, you can go ahead and bring it back to me, David. Yeah, so they've essentially finished the pick ban phase, and they will be starting probably here in a few minutes, if I had to guess. So we will be getting underway here shortly, and hopefully that won't take too long. But yeah. we will show you that as soon as it starts, but you do have to remember that we are going to have to, when we do get there, we have to take a 2.5 minute break. It's 2.5 minutes, I believe. We'll have to take 2.5 minutes to get in. So considering everything that's going on, we've got the pick ban phase up in a second. The client that they were using is actually just a placeholder. The actual picking and banning in the client happens after that. So that's what they're doing right now. And then we'll also have the, whenever it comes up, we'll also have that 2.5 minute stream delay. So what we may want to go ahead and do right now then in that case is let's go ahead and take a quick break. And we will be back in probably about 2.5 minutes, something like that, for the start of the first game against Faulkner. This is going to be us versus Iowa State. So we'll go ahead and take that quick break, and we'll be back in just a minute.
I wanted to take my career to a higher level, so I searched for an MBA program that fits my schedule, that's accredited, and aligns with my Christian values. I found the perfect MBA at Faulkner University. Faulkner's MBA program consists of 10 5-week courses completely online, and the quality of instruction is excellent. Imagine how earning your MBA degree can help boost your career and get you to where you want to be. Visit faulkner.edu/advance to learn how you can get started.
College, law school, this is a formative time for people, but it's not just about getting a degree. And I think when students come to school here, when people work here, that's what they get to see. The folks here will love you, take care of you, look out for you, and along the way, help you get a great education. I love that. I would tell students who are interested in potentially going to law school that they can learn the law anywhere, but not every learning environment is the same. So I think it's important for them to consider where they can go and be comfortable, where they can go and be encouraged, where they can go and be loved. And that's what they'll find here. There are larger schools, there are schools with bigger names, but there aren't schools with bigger hearts than Faulkner's Law School. We love our students. We don't apologize for that. We don't hide that. And they're not going to find that everywhere, but they can definitely find that here.
All right, and welcome back, folks. We are getting ready to jump into some gameplay here in just a moment. So we're looking forward to that, and it looks like we actually already have a countdown. So we should be getting into the spectator mode here shortly. Looks like we got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so we timed that about right, which I'm looking forward to. Okay. So they have opted for blue side first, which means that when it comes to whenever we get to our map positioning, Faulkner is going to be on red. We do prefer blue. That's not just an aesthetic thing because our colors are blue. We tend to like the bottom of the map more, but we've fared very well on red side. The last couple of games that we've played that went into a third, we had red twice and were able to win on that one as well. So, it's one of those things that doesn't make a huge difference. It makes a little difference, but you don't play very differently on top than you do on bottom. The only thing that is slightly different is because of the way that the map in Summoner's Rift is laid out, there is some priority that you get. Bottom lane tends to have a little bit of an advantage on Dragon, whereas the red team has a little bit of an advantage on things like the Grubs, the Baron Nashor, but it's really not much difference. I mean, one's just a tiny bit farther than the other one is, so really you're looking at a negligible difference in a lot of ways. So we will be getting underway soon, and I believe we've got about a minute to spare, so looking forward to seeing how the guys are doing here. And I also wanted to mention that we do not know where Seth is. He is gone. We're not sure. And I commentators cursed myself, and it worked. Actually, I just got a text from him. He is on his way. So Mr. Seth Dawson will be joining us here shortly. He just isn't here right now. He just now saw the message. I love the boy, but he's a bit of a scatterbrain, and he probably forgot to check. So we do have news. Seth is on his way. He's not here yet. And that'll be great because he knows a lot more about the game than I do. I do the best that I can. I have a pretty good working knowledge, but Seth is like neck deep in this stuff. He really knows the stuff. And so looking forward to having Seth here. Until then, you guys are stuck with me. So, you got to do what you got to do. But we're going to be here. And then, of course, we've got that big Smash Black game coming up later. So we will get underway and see where that goes. We've got about we should be starting in just about 10 seconds. Look, it's Seth. Hang on, David, if you can go let Seth in. We'll go ahead and because the game will take a second to load in, so if he lets him in, and then remember to lock that door back. So we have a weird setup here, but Seth is here. Yay. All right, so I'm going to scooch over here. Give Seth a second to get in.
I
was about to say, you're not mic'd up, so.
You could say I'm late. Or you could say I'm
You're right on time. It just started.
The game just started.
That's right. So we'll go ahead and jump into some gameplay here. Welcome in, Seth.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest, I didn't even know it was Tuesday.
That's the least surprising thing you've said so far.
Oh.
I was just saying on there, I was like, Seth is one of my favorite people, but he's very scatterbrained.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so I tell you what, I've already given them a rundown on the lineup, but yours might be a little bit more thorough. What do you see based on the player comps that
All right,
we're seeing on both
first
sides?
thing I'm seeing, so it is Faulkner on the red side.
Yep.
And we're against Iowa State, right? That's what I was
Yes, we are.
All right.
It's us versus the Hawkeyes.
All right. And in the top lane, first things first, we have Urgot versus Renekton. That is a very, very interesting matchup. I don't know exactly how it goes. Urgot, I know, is kind of a... He's almost like a range champion. Essentially, he is a range champion. It's just not particularly long range.
But he sure does like shooting stuff.
Yeah, which generally is very strong in the top lane, especially in champs like that are melee, like Renekton. Renekton does have a lot of dashes, though, and a lot of sustain. So it kind of depends on just the skill level of the Renekton. Renekton is simple, but at the same time has a lot of dashes, which make it more complicated than you think.
That's actually almost exactly what I said. Renekton is one of those champs that just has a very high skill ceiling, and if you've got a player that only kind of knows what he's doing, he's not that difficult to deal with. If you have a player that's really good with him, he's very difficult to deal with.
Renekton is one of those champs that I would say his skill floor is pretty low. Like, he's always going to be alright, but there is definitely a lot you can do, and his skill ceiling can definitely go up there. There's a lot of poking happening going on right now.
I noticed that. The bot lane being very aggressive, more aggressive than we've seen in a while.
It definitely makes sense. They have Morgana, Jinx. Both are going to have some good damage. And our bot lane, Hui, Asol, going to struggle a little bit in the damage department early. They do have a decent amount of, like, range poke, but they don't have any get off me, really, if that makes sense. They have Waze Fear, and that's about it.
By the way, shout out to the captain there. If you saw that battle that was happening in mid lane, doing a great job of staying out of the way and dodging.
Exactly.
His evasion is really good.
Very, very good mid laner, good at poking, good at just kind of dodging, getting out of the way, has that W. Like that exactly, which lets him completely
All right,
dodge.
first blood.
I was going to say that lets him completely dodge the attract that Ari has and just dodge the damage and go in and get the kill. Very well played. It does look like Urgot is able to do pretty well in Renekton, and I was kind of thinking it might be a good matchup for him, especially considering he went PTA, which is a rune set. It's called Press the Attack. Basically, if he hits you 3 times, he deals a bunch of extra damage.
I would point out that Press the Attack is also the slogan of our sponsor, Corsair. So
Certainly works in this case. I like it.
at least for their keyboards. I don't know if it's that for everything.
Press the Attack has quickly become one of my favorite rune sets to run on many of my champions.
And Urgot trying to 1v2 here to a degree.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think the team was quite ready to back him up. He was trying to go in to help Imblu. I think he was expecting to be able to proc his passive more. As you saw, he has those shotgun legs. The way Urgot works is that if he attacks you, he has, I think it's 6 different points around the circle on him that if he attacks you from, it deals a big burst of extra max health damage that recharges over time, and he has 6 different directions in which he can do that. So he like tries to circle around you to deal that extra damage at max as much as possible.
So is it probably just an issue with he thought that his team was closer than they were? Was that a communication problem?
It may have been a bit of miscommunication. It was also a situation of, if you notice, he was doing really good damage to the Rammus, even through the Rammus shield, while he was able to circle around him. But then he got kind of stunned, and then his ability, which lets him attack really fast for small amounts of damage, really not good against Rammus, because Rammus deals damage to you every time you hit him. It's really good for proccing the shotgun legs. It is not good if you cannot proc those.
So with Rammus, what you really want is you want to hit him with one really big attack.
Yes. Lots of small little attacks really just kind of kill you against Rammus.
Good to know. And it looks like bot lane heating up. Bottom lane really being the Pokemon down there, trying to poke real hard.
Both sides just trying to poke. Neither side has actually successfully gotten a kill yet on each other.
Yeah, you saw that our support got really low there for a second, to the point I thought she was done for, and then she was able to get bailed out.
Yeah,
but,
I was about to say, very well played on our team.
Our bot lane is a lot lower than theirs, so they may have to back soon.
It's just kind of, Asol's trying to succeed in a 2v1 right now. And he is under tower.
By the way, I completely missed it because the camera was focused on this. We got the Infernal Drake.
Yeah, that's why it was a 2v1 in the bot lane.
Right.
But we
got ganked in the top. Yeah,
unfortunately, Raptor Claw does die for it. Imblu barely getting out of that situation. I notice he's playing Viego. Viego. Very different characters.
Yes.
Viego, very strong champ in general. His kit is very based around crit, a little bit of attack speed, and one of the biggest notable things about him is that his passive lets him transform into enemies that he has killed. And it also resets his ult cooldown when he does that. It's a very, very interesting mechanic.
Yeah, that is different.
It lets him do a lot of burst damage, get in, and then resets his cooldowns so that he can keep bursting, essentially.
And it looks like Surgeon of Death did back, so probably has a little bit better gear right now.
And one of the really interesting things about Viego, by the way, is that not only does he transform into your champion, he transforms into your build of the champion. He gains all of your items. He takes all the items and stuff and the runes you're using on that champion at the time, and then completely transforms into whatever you're building. So if he's able to kill someone who's very, very far ahead, like if the team gangs up and, say, knocks down someone who's super ahead, it can be a big turn because he gets all your items just as however ahead you are. He becomes that far ahead and is able to kind of turn it on your team.
Yeah, and we should note that the Void Grubs have spawned, so there's going to be a little bit of a fight over that. But it looks like Faulkner outnumbered here.
I was about to say,
Grubs.
Faulkner is outnumbered. The opposing team does claim the feat of warfare here, unfortunately, getting that third kill. And yeah, our team kind of going in one at a time and just sort of dying.
Yeah, and part of the problem that I saw there was up until that last fight, every single kill they got was on our Urgot. And so Urgot getting a little bit bullied here in the early game.
Yeah, it's kind of just been Urgot has kind of been... he's been really good in the 1v1s versus Renekton, but the problem has been that every time he's died, it's been like 2 or 3v1s, where he's either gotten ganked or he tried to help some teammates got out of position and had 3 people on top of him.
Yeah, it's a difficult position to be in, and that does mean that Iowa State winds up securing the Void Grubs.
Yep, they secure both the Void Grubs and the Feat of Warfare.
Yep.
So what we're going to be looking to try and do is we really want to get the next 2 objectives, and we also want to get first tower, both of which are going to be pretty tall tasks. Urgot trying to flash E in and unfortunately ends up dying to the Rammus counter gank. Rammus coming in at the perfect time, and on top of that, Renekton doing a very, very good job of... Ooh, Renekton living on 1 HP. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, Rammus has decided he's just going to tower dive, and it looks like it's going to pay off for him.
And he certainly has the armor to be able to do so. Unfortunate for the team. Kind of a very large blowout there in that attempted gank in the top lane. Asol getting bullied in the bot lane a little bit as well, but he is still doing a good job of just standing back and doing his best to just scale.
Yeah, and the thing is, we've actually done pretty well in the bot lane, even though they've been hyper aggressive. It's really, and we've done fine in mid lane. It's really top lane where we've struggled.
Yeah,
but unfortunately,
top lane and kind of the team fights in general right now. The top objectives right now are just kind of our weakest link. That's why we struggled so much with the Grubs, is that Urgot really has been bullied, as he said, by the jungler, and kind of just in that other situation where he died to a 3v1. Looks like a 2 or 3v1.
Oh, and it looks like we may...
A little bit of a fight between the support players, just, you know... filling each other out there a little bit. Each of them trying to control the vision. The bot lane is kind of our stronger lane, but it is still relatively weak compared to the opposing position. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this, although we very much want to try.
Oh,
all right,
nice!
Very well played from our mid laner. Unfortunately, our bot laner does die here. And it looks like our support's going to die as well. And I don't think mid lane's going to be enough to try and clean this up on its own. And he does end up dying to the Ignite.
Yeah, he winds up getting killed there as well.
And this is going to be Dragon for them.
Only Imblu is able to survive that one, unfortunately.
A bit of an unfortunate situation. Our team really trying to go for the objective there. But to some extent, I almost feel like it should have been... maybe a situation where we needed to give up that dragon to try and stabilize more in the lanes. But at the same time, I definitely respect and understand trying to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you get it, but they weren't in a situation where they had to go for it. And to be fair, had they not gotten killed right after taking that first pick, they still had a good chance of winning it.
Yeah. It was just kind of a situation of we realized a little too late we needed to pull out, essentially.
Yeah. Ramus seems to be our biggest, just based on what I'm seeing, he seems to be the biggest thorn in our side right now as well.
Yeah, Ramus does have a lot of CC, and a lot of our team does just kind of, a good portion of our team kind of folds to him just because he's kind of anti-auto attack. He's 2-0-9 right now, already has Bramble Vest. He deals extra damage based on armor. He already has Bomby Cinder. He's very, very well set up to just get in there and annoy our whole team.
Well, it should be noted as well that one of the things that Faulkner tends to do is that they tend to have strong early and late game. It's the middle game where they struggle. The fact that they're already struggling in the early game means that they're going to have to make some decisions on how to bring it back in the mid.
This seems to be a decision that's going to work out pretty well. Very, very good shutdown.
Yep.
Very well played between our top and mid laner.
But unfortunately, the Jinx winds up destroying our support.
Kill our support, but it looks like we're most likely going to get the first tower here. Very, very well played from our team, unless this... Okay, no, yeah, we get the first turret.
And now Ramus is in trouble.
Yeah, Ramus is essentially trying to take a 3v1, and not even he's able to do it, and that is an amazing shutdown.
And our jungler gets it, which is nice.
For our jungler. Very, very well played from our team, getting 2 good shutdowns and a turret. I did not check to see how much gold we were down, but we are now only 1k down, as opposed to, I think we were about 3 to 4k down a second ago.
I don't think it was quite that much, but it was pretty big. And so getting that first tower, just huge for Faulkner.
That does keep us in the running to be able to get the upgraded boots. We have to get 2 objectives, which are the dragons, and more specifically, the next one to come up is going to be the Rift Herald. If we can collect this Rift Herald, that fairly well leaves us in the running.
You can actually see Aurelian Soul teleporting.
Everyone is TPing. This is going to be a 5v5 fight for this Rift Herald, and we are instigating the Rift Herald fight. It's going to be interesting.
Wow, a lot is going on.
A lot. Okay.
Oh,
so
I'm
very,
blue.
very good. Azul coming out, able to stun 2 people. Victor trying to go in, able to get
Ramus.
the Ramus.
Yeah, Ramus is down. Unfortunately, our mid laner dies.
Going down, but the problem right now is Jinx. Jinx is very strong right now. And it does look like, I don't know who got that. We got it!
We got the Rift Herald.
Okay, we do die for it. Jinx, unfortunately, a champ that very, very snowbally.
Yep.
Once she gets a single kill in a team fight, I've mentioned this before, her passive gives her a big movement and attack speed boost that stacks for every time she gets a kill.
But correct me on this, Seth. We don't lose the Rift Herald because we all died, do we?
It just depends. We did not pick up the Rift Herald. When the Rift Herald dies, it spawns a little, as you can see, a little pickup there at the entrance.
Yep.
That if you pick up, even if you die, you get to keep. But no one on our team was able to pick it up. So, no, we do not get the Rift Herald. But we do get the point, the objective point. So we did actually kill it. So that does mean that
we just don't get the
tied.
advantage of getting to use it.
Yeah, but the biggest advantage of that is being able to get the first tower.
Right.
But luckily, we've already done that. We don't have to worry about it. The big thing here is that we have to get this next dragon that will be up in 36 seconds. If we're able to collect this dragon, that gives us the upgrade boots, gives us a big boost.
So, do you think that means we need to target Jinx earlier this time? Like, what could we do to be able to...
Getting a pick on Jinx is very, very important. It would be very good.
Because Jinx deals a ton of damage, but it's important to remember she is very squishy.
She is very squishy, and it's exactly what our team's trying to do, but the problem is the Ramus is here interrupting that.
Oh, no.
Our ability.
Yeah, Frisbee goes down.
Ari going in, and Ari is another one, has a lot of that burst damage, and unfortunately this time Asol going down, and this is most likely a wrap here for this fight. We need to get out. There's no way for us to win it, and we have to realize this and just get out. Can Imblu get out?
No,
And
he does not.
Unfortunately not. Ari able to get a quadra kill there and able to clean up the rest of her team. Unfortunate. It was a very good attempt at a fight. Unfortunately, there were just a couple of missed abilities that ended up leading to an entire team wipe, essentially. Just the positioning barely offset. The positioning was just barely not in our favor.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that what could have been, but this doesn't mean that we're down and out. It does put our back against a wall. It means it's probably going to be at least 3 or 4 minutes before we can really recover and start
We
getting
are
ready for
down
something
by
else.
about 5K in gold now after that team fight, and we really just have to sit back and grind. Again, we do have ASOL in our team, which is a big boost of inevitability. A lot of our opponent's team, in particular the Renekton is really strong, but he's strongest in the early game.
Yep.
Early and mid game, and then he kind of falls off a little bit in the late game.
Right. Still strong, but
still
not
very
as strong as a lot of the other scaling
If
champs.
everyone is equally
fed.
If everyone is equal, he, at the very end of the game, his growth does not go as far as others.
Yeah.
A lot of his big power spikes are in the early and mid game as opposed to the late game. Like ASOL, who has a major power spike in the late game.
It would be really nice if we were able to get this Jinx and then the mid laner as well, because they've got big bounties on them. That could maybe help us start making a comeback here.
If we could get a kill on the Jinx or Ari, it would be very, very good for our team.
The problem is we've shown that in a team fight, even if we win the fight per se, we all die. So we would need to get some kind of pick or gank on them to be able to get that.
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest thing, is a lot of our engage and pick potential is going to be reliant on...
Uh-oh, Surgeon of Death in trouble. And Hui goes down.
Surgeon of Death does unfortunately go down. So does our jungler. ASOL able to get out there. Very good.
Yeah, ASOL and Frisbee escape.
Everyone getting out. The entire team just there. Our team having to play very carefully. And ASOL is now trapped under tower. And very well could die here to a tower. To a tower dive.
Oh, he's going to slip out.
He does get out, it looks like. Yeah, the opposing team getting distracted a little bit by Frisbee. Frisbee is able to save the ASOL, get him out of there, unfortunately at the cost of his own life.
Yeah.
But ASOL is able to get out, which is very important. ASOL, a very, very potentially strong. He really just wants to stay alive as long as possible.
That really is the goal here, but...
the more he's alive, the more he can stack Stardust.
But unfortunately, a 6K deficit now means that Faulkner is really going to have to come up with something to answer here.
Yeah. It really comes down to just grind, stand back, try your best as much as possible to just avoid fights. We kind of have to... Most likely we're going to have to give this next objective that comes up, the dragon, here in about 2 minutes. We could try fighting for it, and it looks like our team might try and set up to be able to do so. If we can get a pick on Ari or Jinx, it's possible.
I think it might also be worthy of noting here, since there's very little chance we'd be able to take this dragon, being able to give it up and then getting ready to take the next dragon would be a much bigger deal, because that would give them soul potentially.
Yeah. One of the big things, the third dragon is arguably just as, if not more important than the fourth dragon. Obviously, it's less important-ish than the third dragon and then the fourth dragon, but the third dragon is still considered highly important because it just applies so much pressure.
Oh, and it looks like we're going to get a pick here, maybe? Yes.
Yeah, we are able to get a pick here. Very, very good. I don't know who got the kill.
I didn't see it either, but we did get the bounty on that.
Yeah, that was a 1,000 gold kill. It was crazy.
Making stacks.
That is certainly the kind of place we want. We want to be able to get those picks. Acel TPing to this turret, going to be trying to save it. Luckily, not too big of a... Luckily, there was not too much of a wave built up.
Oh, he's rooted.
Unfortunately, yeah, he got hit by a... Yep.
Oh, and that's going to be Jinx ult, and that does take him down.
Got hit by a single Morgana Q and died for it, and that's just how that goes. Just have to be very aware of when the Jinx is there. You have to imagine that Morgana is nearby. And, I mean, there was no way for him to really be able to react to that perfectly.
No, and that's the thing.
Preemptively move.
By this stage in the game, Jinx ult just does so much damage at one time.
Yeah, Jinx...
Uh-oh. Frisbee goes down.
Oh, no. This is a very, very unfortunate engagement here. A 5v2, essentially. Not everyone trying to kind of gear up and prepare for this dragon, and then we just didn't quite know where the enemy team was, and we got caught out a little bit there.
Yeah, and that really is a demonstration of why vision is so important. Faulkner's not been able to go very deep inside the enemy jungle this round, and you're kind of seeing the results of it.
Inside of our jungle.
Well, that's also true.
Most of the most recent deaths and kills have happened within the borders of our own jungle. And if you look at the minimap, you can currently see 3 wards that are the 3 blue wards in the red side jungle.
Yeah. And it looks like Faulkner may be in a situation where they just got a turtle in base for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks
Turtling
like
is my name. Defense is my game.
it looks like they actually are going to venture a little bit out.
Luckily, the opposing team, a lot of them are kind of basing to try and set up and just... The opposing team just resetting, spending some of their money. Unfortunately, that does mean they're going to come back and be significantly stronger.
Yep.
Than they were when they left.
You're seeing Charlie clean up this bot lane, get some wave clear in. Surgeon of Death trying to clean up the jungle, get those wards out of there.
Tower. Honestly, if he can get a tower here, probably not going to be able to because of the Jinx.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's
able to put some good damage on it.
Oh, and the Baron's up.
Baron is up. I don't think we can really make a move for it at all.
No, I think that it's best to stay away at this point.
But the opposing team isn't really making a move for it either right now. Ooh, that was a bit close.
Yep. It's a good thing Imblu knew to get away.
Can't outrun a fox.
I will say I've never seen Blue play, what's it called?
Viego? I haven't either.
Very, very interesting pick. I don't
Oh, and
know
they're just going to dive on Snow Phoenix here, but they're going to
very
die for it.
I don't. For those who weren't able to see it, what happened there was Charlie tried, or Frisbee tried diving the Morgana, which would have been a very, very good, clean, quick kill. Except for the fact that, unfortunately, during Neferi ult, you are still susceptible to CC. And there's no one who can CC like Morgana. And Morgana Q came out in the middle of the ult. So he was able to get there and hit, but got stunned down immediately and just couldn't do anything from that point forward.
Yep. And it looks like the opposing team, Iowa State, going to be able to take Baron Nashor without much of a fight.
Yep.
The only one nearby is Urgot, and he does not want to take that fight.
Absolutely. Very much has to just kind of back off, let them do what they're going to do.
And they may be looking to, with as close as they're getting to the other team, they may be looking to grab a quick pick here. But it looks like the Iowa State team is going to keep 3, stack them together with the Baron buff, and that's going to be very dangerous. Probably don't want to challenge that if we can help it.
Yeah, this is officially becoming just we have to wave clear. Wave clear simulator go. And that is the name of the game right now. Arguably, we have to give Dragon Soul here, because we definitely have the ability to outscale Dragon Soul, especially since this is Chemtech Dragon Soul. It's good. Definitely not the strongest of them. Still very strong. I mean, the least amount of percentage you get towards winning once you have Dragon Soul is like 8.
Uh-oh, I'm blue a little low here. He's going to let Urgot stand in the way, but it looks like a gank is going to come.
I was about to say, unfortunately, does end up dying to the Ramus CC.
Yeah, and together they're able to take down the turret as well.
Unfortunate miss on the Urgot ult. Is he gonna be able to get
Raptor
out?
Klaw is so close. And he
Tried
does
his
go down.
best to get out. Ramus just has so much armor at this point. It's going to be able to tank those turrets all day.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to get an inhibitor here. Don't think Charlie's going to be able to stop him.
No. It was a very unfortunate miss on the Urgot ult. For those who weren't able to see it, Urgot's ult is a projectile that he can fire out. It kind of has a bit of a long startup. But if he's able to hit it, what it does is that for the next little bit, it slows the opponent, and he can reactivate it to execute them. Renekton very easily within that execute range, but unfortunately just barely missing.
Yep, and they do get the Kim Drake, so.
That is Soul. Basically, what we have to do right here, just again, Turtle. We have to rely a little bit on our own dragon. It looks like we have some people waiting for items in the base. Yep, just waiting a little bit to buy last couple items.
Yeah, and Baron buff still active. They're going to be pushing hard up mid lane here. Oh, and it looks like they just lost it.
Yes, they did just lose the Baron buff. Very good timing, honestly.
Yep, because that would have been a lot tougher to deal with if they had had it.
Ooh, good dodge from the Aesol. I don't know if how many of y'all saw that, but in the corner you just kind of barely see Aesol weaving back and forth, dodging Ahri's abilities left and right. Left, right, and center.
Oh, it looks like we're going to try to burst down here.
I'm about to say Urgot going in, trying to use the help
Oh,
of
no.
his allies to burst down these champs, but unfortunately, just so much armor, so much sustain and healing coming out from those champions. Not everyone able to get down on them at the same time. Unfortunately, they're all able to just get away. Urgot trying to hit his E, which would have let him flip.
Yeah, and this is probably game right here.
Yeah,
There's not much we can do to stop it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Aesol's the only one alive. Not enough here to be able to stop this. Unfortunate loss in game 1 here on Faulkner's side.
But, you know, there have been multiple games this season where Faulkner has lost game 1 and then came back and kind of, I wouldn't say steamrolled, but definitely had a dominant performance in games 2 and 3 and won it. So
Absolutely.
It can happen. We don't know if that's what's going to happen, but obviously that's what we're hoping for.
Yep. I will say a bit of an unfortunate loss on some of these champions. I was about to say, definitely I would say some of our stronger initial champions here used in this round 1. Due to the format of Fearless Draft, none of the champions used in this round are going to be able to be used later. What I will say is hopefully that also means some of the stronger champions on the opponent's side are now also off
the table as well.
And I will say our team has a very, very good breadth when it comes to like the number of champions they can play. So I 100% believe in Faulkner's ability to bring this back. We've had a chance to play against this team here. Now we kind of have a feel for things and we can really get going in this next game.
Well, this would be my evaluation, and I know that I don't know the game as well as you do, but just having watched all of Faulkner's games this year, losing Aesol is unfortunate, but not that big a deal. Josh definitely has other ADCs that he can play that are just as good or better. Losing Nefiri is a bit of a blow. I wouldn't say a massive one. Losing Urgot is kind of tough because Urgot has, just as a general rule, been one of Ethan's strongest. It does very, very well with Urgot.
In general, just a very strong champ, I will say.
losing Viego, honestly, not that big a deal. Like, I've never even seen Seth play Viego.
Legitimately, the first time we've ever seen him pull out Viego in the competitive area. And I will say, I feel like it showed a little bit in that it didn't feel like he fully... I'm very sure he understood a lot of his limits, but definitely maybe not to the same extent in that he knows some other champions.
Yeah, his movement was fine, but it did seem like some of his decisions to go in or dive on a champion wasn't as good as it normally is, because Seth usually is very good about that.
I will say, just in general, a lot of this last game, there was a lot of, it felt like we were being pushed into a corner, and we were trying desperately to kind of fight back instead of kind of go with it, let them push in a little bit and try and catch up. Instead of, we kept trying to take these fights when there wasn't really a way for us to effectively win.
Right.
When we were just too far out of the way, essentially.
And there's actually a principle here that if any of our viewers are martial artists, I'm a black belt, and so there's different mentalities that you go into with the fight. If you're facing an opponent that is roughly equal or maybe even a little lower than you in strength, sometimes blocking or completely negating their attack is the best thing to do, because then it's easier to counter. However, if you're facing an opponent that's significantly stronger than you, you don't want to do any blocking. What you want to do is dodge, and you want to redirect their inertia to use it against them. That's why things like grapples, jiu-jitsu would be better. And it felt like we were facing a stronger opponent and kept trying to block as opposed to trying to use their inertia against them in some way.
Yeah, and to some extent, I think it might come down a little bit to, as you said, one of our strongest times is the early game.
Yep.
We always feel really strong in the early game. And we kept playing like we were strong in the early game.
But we were not.
We weren't.
Yeah. And they also had champions that tend to be better in early game versus late game, whereas we had a lot of late game scaling champs, and we were playing a little too brash for the situation we were in. But yeah, so a few mistakes made. Honestly, it looked really bad on that scorecard. I don't think it was as bad as the scorecard would imply.
I was about to say, that's just kind of the nature of
Because one or two fights went slightly differently, and you'd probably have a pretty even game.
The biggest, honestly, I think the biggest turning point was probably the grub fight. That's where we really saw things taking a shift for the worst. Because that was the first objective that we really need to give that we didn't. Essentially, we tried to fight for something that we didn't have the power to be able to actually take.
And the truth is, grubs is not that important. I'm not saying that you don't need to fight for it or you don't need to get it, but grubs is a less important objective, in my opinion, than Herald or Nasher, for sure.
I would say, to some extent, it's very important that it can get you boots very early.
True.
And also it allows you...
But there's also other ways to get boots.
There are.
Yeah.
But it's definitely... It feels like a very important objective.
Fair enough.
At the very least.
Like I said, you know more about it than I do, but I've always felt like grubs is definitely not something you just want to throw away. But like if the other team gets it, I feel like that's not a big hole to have to climb out of, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, they are racking up for round 2, but what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break here for just a couple minutes, give ourselves a break, and we'll be back with game 2 after Iowa State takes that first round. We'll be back and hopefully give you game 2, and of course what we're hoping for is also a game 3.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in a second.
It is state of the art. It is unlike any other school I have ever been a part of. It's interdisciplinary. It has huge spaces with lots of opportunities for students to work with physical therapists and speech therapists and physician's assistants. There is collaboration amongst the faculty as well as the students. So if you're thinking about Faulkner, just come tour. We'll talk you into it in about 10 minutes.
My Faulkner experience was one that I would advise anyone to take. I selected Faulkner because of, number one, because of the Christian values. The second part was the dedicated program that they had for what I wanted to do with my career, which was go into human resources. And so having that dedicated program and seeing that I could finish on time and finish within a short period of time, relatively, really was the one thing, some of the things that inspired me to come to Faulkner. My degree in HR got me into human resources in the automotive field, and having the degree from Faulkner was well recognized and well respected. And so the community in Alabama knows about Faulkner, and they recognize that Faulkner graduates are going to be some of the top-notch employees, and they're going to have good values, they're going to have good ethics, they're going to have all the things that employers are looking for now. So that really was one thing that Faulkner did for me, was give me credibility with local employers.
Training tomorrow's teachers, ministers, and scientists, guiding future business leaders to positively impact our global economy, teaching healthcare professionals to improve patient outcomes, coaching athletes to give their best on and off the field, men and women learning how to succeed wherever their dreams take them. That's Faulkner University. With over 70 degree offerings, you'll find your calling with on-campus and online classes that fit your schedule in a Christian learning environment. Faulkner University. Discover more at faulkner.edu.
In the River region and the Black Belt specifically, we are facing a critical shortage of healthcare professionals, especially nurses. Here at Faulkner, we hope to fill that gap by keeping our nurses close to home. My name is Shelley Vardaman, and I'm the Program Director for the School of Nursing at Faulkner. Faulkner's curriculum is designed to have you graduating in 4 years. We have a 4-semester upper division, which is somewhat unique to this area. Many programs around here have you graduating with a 5-semester clinical sequence, but this one is truly designed to have you graduating in 4 years. You can speed that up with dual enrollment or completing your general education courses earlier. So it is actually possible to graduate in less than 4 years. At Faulkner, we want to prepare our students not only with a Christian worldview, but also to be compassionate caregivers. We have state-of-the-art facilities here at the College of Health Sciences. In addition to this beautiful sim lab where I'm sitting now, we have our own library at the College of Health Sciences. We also have dedicated study rooms that individual students can go to. There's even your own dining area. If you're interested in becoming a Faulkner student, first step is to go to the Faulkner website and apply for admission to the university. Then if you're ready for upper division, go ahead and fill out that upper division application. The deadline is March 31st. You can find that at faulkner.edu/nursing. You can also find additional information about the School of Nursing there.
All right, folks, we are back. Thank you so much for being with us here inside Registrar USA Hi-Res Arena. For those of you that are just now joining us, Faulkner actually does lose the first round of this game, which means the score is currently Iowa State 1, Faulkner 0. But they can definitely come back from this. Like I said, we've had multiple games this season where they already went down by 1 game in the early game, and then were able to come back in games 2 and 3. So we're hoping that that is going to be the case this evening. And like you said, with the Fearless Draft, that means that we actually do not get to use any of the 10 champions that were chosen on either side, no longer available as potential champions to pick in this pool.
I'm trying, and again, the most notable ones on our side are certainly Ergot, Hui, and Acel, which have always been kind of, in particular, Acel and Hui have been a core to many of our winning teams.
Yes.
But not our only ones.
Right.
You know. And I very much am looking forward to seeing how we move on from here. The opposing team also does lose access to some particularly strong champions, such as Jinx and Morgana in the bot lane, which is a very, very strong pokey lane. Morgana, in general, just always going to be a strong champion throughout the entire game due to her ability to pick a person and stun them down for forever.
And it looks like the pick bans have actually already started, so let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Exactly. And looks like on the Faulkner side, our first 3 bans are going to be Misfortune, Akshan, and Soraka. Very interesting bans. I don't know the opposing team very well, but I assume these are probably 3 of their better champs. So we are banning 1 bot laner, 1 mid laner, and 1 support.
And then on the other side, this is funny because they banned this one twice in a row now. Well, the first 2 they banned in the last game as well. They do not want to face Ethan's Volibear. They have decided that is not worth it.
Understandable. Volibear, a very, very strong early game champ that can snowball very easily in the late game, especially once he gets Flicker Blades and can basically perma-stun someone. Milio, a very strong supporting champ that has a cleanse on his has a mass cleanse on his ult that also heals and shields. It's very strong. And then of course we also have Xerath getting banned. I don't know how often he gets played in our team. I've seen him played a couple times, but he's a very strong long-range poking champ. I think generally played by Sergio Death. In the support role.
Well, I do see that we have just picked a Azir, which I know makes Charlie happy.
I will say our first 3 picks do look very good. We get Kai'Sa and Azir, which are 2 of the stronger champs for our side, 100%. I actually got to play with one of our teammates yesterday playing Kai'Sa. Went very, very well. He's very, very good on the champ. Nico, I'm honestly not sure if Nico is going to be support or jungle. Probably support. I can't remember.
I don't think so. Actually, I mean, again, this is just me, but the only time I've ever seen one of our guys play Nico, it's been Seth. So I think this could be a Nico jungle.
It could be. I don't really remember how good Nico jungle is in general, but I know just at a base, Seth is very good.
Seth also really likes to make unconventional picks, and that's part of the reason I'm thinking this might be a Nico jungle.
On the opposing side, we have a Sylas, most likely in the mid lane. Going to be very big for trying to steal ultimates, which I will say, very important to note that Kai'Sa and Azir, neither of them really have ults that Sylas is going to be like scratching at the bit to try and take.
Right.
They're both going to be good, but they're not going to be super impactful as compared to something like a Nico ult, which is incredibly impactful.
Right.
I mean, Azir ult can be very impactful too, but Nico ult is a very, very large area of effect knock-up that also happens to scale with AP.
And we've also got the Ashe on the other side, so going to give bot lane Ashe, I would assume that's what's going on?
Most likely going to be bot lane Ashe Karma. Karma most likely going to be the support. I don't know. This lane is not going to be as... If I were playing in the bot lane, I would not be as annoyed trying to deal with this bot lane as I would have been with the Jinx Morgana, because there's just not as much stun. But they do still have... Ashe has a slow on every auto attack in our W. Her ult is 2 to 4 second stun, somewhere in there. Karma does have a stun. It just takes a second to come out.
And we get the Vi.
All right. It does look like it's going to be Vi. Okay, I do believe that means it's probably going to be Nico support and Vi.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Vi jungle.
Yeah.
Skarner jungle most likely here as well, and it looks like we're going to be picking our top laner here in a second.
They have banned Shogath, which I find interesting.
They banned Rek'Sai.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Rek'Sai and Mbessa.
They need to make these portraits slightly larger on screen. Because I always get these wrong, it seems like.
It's all good.
We get Ornn.
Okay, Ornn just never going to be a bad pick. Darius into Ornn does make sense. He's going to be very careful.
I was going to say, I do like Ornn, but Darius into Ornn is rough.
Yeah, I mean, Darius is just a lane bully in general. He's going to try and stack up his ability 5 times, and he's going to try and ult you. At level 1, he's just going to try and run you down, get a stack 5 times, and bleed you out. Because it deals a lot of damage at level 1. Excuse me.
Seeing it. Being a Bible major, whenever I see Darius, I think of King Darius.
Let's see. I'm very interested to see how this goes. Top lane is going to be a battle of Ornn probably just sitting back, poking, and just spamming Q, honestly.
That would be my guess.
And when he can, he's going to E in and knock him up, then hit E, get in a hit, and he's going to back away. And that's essentially going to be the play loop in top lane. Or Darius is going to hit a hook, and Orin's going to do everything he can to get away.
So since we're fairly confident that this is Vi jungle Nico support, what role does Nico play in that bot lane now that we know the lineup?
Pokey stun bot.
Pokey stun bot. Okay.
Pokey stun bot. Just is going to be standing back, throwing out a bunch of abilities to try and poke in some damage. Send the enemy where she can so that Kaizen can get in some good burst. They can get in some good damage. When they can, they're going to try and, if they get the opportunity, they'll go in and try and kill. Not always going to be as viable as you think, because Kaizen going to have a lot of shielding she can do.
Right.
If the Kaizen's good, she's going to be very capable of preventing poke.
Mm-hmm.
Shielding in general is really good at that, because when she uses her shield, it also gives a burst of movement speed, so it lets you kind of either, hey, I'm going to use this movement speed to get in, or I'm going to use this shield to block this little bit of poke damage and help me get out. Just very, very versatile. And then, of course, she has more options. She has the stun. She has her Q, which is big damage and area slow.
Right.
Just depending on how she uses it.
Well,
could go either way.
Could go either way. I can see that. It looks like we're going to be getting underway here in probably another 3, maybe 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I say that is we still have that 2.5 minute pause.
Yep.
That's going to take place here in just a little bit because of the spectator, and then we still have to actually go into the client to do the draft. Because
it looks like they're officially starting the draft in client. They're doing all that. It's going to be the same thing we've already seen.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but actually Counter-Strike has a similar mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Because Counter-Strike...
maps, right?
Yeah, so there's a third-party client to pick ban your maps. And we just do it that way because it's easier.
Yeah.
And it works better. And the same thing with knife round. So knife round in competitive actually determines whether you're a terrorist or counter-terrorist first. But we just go ahead and decide that ahead of time, and so knife round plays out in the way that has already been pre-decided. So like if one team is going to be this or one team's going to be that, then they just voluntarily basically offer themselves up to the other team to be knifed, which is really funny.
Very interesting.
Yep.
All right, of course.
My bad. It's also really funny when the other team has a good sense of humor about it and will stab their other teammates to where they're all dead, and then one guy just 1v5s a knife round and wins because he has to. There was one time I remember, this was like back in, I want to say the first year that we did Counter-Strike, that actually happened, and the guy was trying to be funny, but he accidentally got down to really low HP. But then he accidentally got stabbed off of something else and died, and so we had to go back and redo knife round. That was actually really funny. Which I got the joke that he was going for, but it was like, you probably didn't have to like down your own HP that much to where you could fall off of something and die.
That sounds...
It was really funny,
right?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I will say, we didn't really get to talk about it, but it's going to be Skarner Jungle on the opposing side.
Yeah, we didn't actually mention that much.
Skarner, very interesting champ. He's actually getting buffed soon. I'm really interested to see it because they're turning him into an AD bruiser type champ instead of just a pure tank champ. And he's going to build significantly more interesting items, in my opinion. Items like Overlord's Bloodmail. He's going to be building a lot more like a champ like Seth. Or... I'm trying to think of else. Basically, he's going to be building very bruisery items. And he might actually end up in the top lane more often than just pure jungle. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. But anyhow, the actual champ himself, the way he works, he is currently just a big HP tank sponge that also has a ton of crowd control. One of his primary abilities is where he can just start burrowing through walls, where he progressively speeds up. And if he grabs a person along the way, I mean, he grabs them and then he can pull them into a wall and stun them. His Q is it buffs his auto attacks. It buffs his next 3 auto attacks, although I don't think it actually has an auto attack reset on it. I don't think it actually resets your auto attack. So it's a little weird, but it basically just boosts your next 3 auto attacks. And you can just throw the rocks you pick up instead. And if you throw the rocks, you just throw it, deals damage, slows an opponent. Big fun. His W, I believe, is just an area of effect AoE hit around him where he kind of slams into the ground, slows everyone around him, and gives himself a shield based on his HP.
Pretty standard.
And his E is the thing where he runs around and grabs people. And then his ultimate, he uses his giant stingers, throws them out, catches up to 3 people, I believe.
Okay.
And he can pull them around with him. Really fun to be able to do that. Pull them either into your team or under towers.
Yep. Which would be the operative thing that you would want to do early game for sure.
Absolutely, especially in lane. Although this is going to be in the jungle, so going to be more just pulling him into the team.
Hey, could still pull him under tower during a gank. True, that's still an option. Also, they have just started, which means that we've got about a minute. Yeah, 2.5 minutes.
2 minutes, 50 seconds. My bad.
It's fine.
Close enough.
Watch, there's a guy at home with a stopwatch. Like, they told me this was going to be 2 minutes, 30 seconds. It was 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Touch some grass, bro.
I can't say that. I haven't done that recently.
Well, recently I haven't either.
I need to go step outside.
I might need to as well.
Feel the sun on my skin.
Well, you couldn't do that today.
True.
It was raining pretty hard.
That's also why I was staying inside.
Yes. Sure, that was the reason.
But it is what it is.
But yeah. Why don't we take this opportunity to see if there's anything in chat that we might want to reference. Go ahead and pull that up.
Because we're cool like that.
It's funny because normally League gets the least comments. It's our most viewed esport, and it gets the least comments.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Nobody knows what to say to League. They know what to say to Smash Bros. They don't know what to say to League.
When it comes to Smash Bros, it's like, hey, hype, look at that down air.
Yes.
When it comes to League of Legends, there's like 100-something odd champs.
Yeah, we've probably got, if it's like a typical stream, we've probably got like 100 something like that people watching, 100, 150, something like that. And like I said, League is our most watched sport by a lot. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't get much chats. It's pretty quiet right now, actually. But with Smash Bros, like, there'll be 3 people watching. They're all commenting. No, it's not true.
Probably bickering back and forth.
Well, actually, on average, our live viewership, now it gets more than this afterward, but our live viewership is on League anywhere from like 80 to 120, and then they'll usually rack up another 100 or so after that, like with people watching the replay. But 80 is like, I would say anywhere from 60 to 80 is our normal stream on all the other games. So, more like 70 to 100. But anyway, my point is, like, on average, League does way better than any of the other games, and yet it gets the least chats. And I've always found that really amusing, that for whatever reason, people that are watching League just don't want to talk about it. We don't talk about League. All right, and now I've wasted almost enough time to eat up that 2 minute and 50 second for that one guy. But he won't say anything about it because he's not going to chat us. The 2 minute 50 second delay.
You're thinking Bob.
That's right, Bob, whatever your name is. Also would like to say hi to Stan, who is the FBI agent that was assigned to watch our stream tonight. So thanks for watching. Stan. Thanks for watching, Stan. We appreciate it. Make sure we're not trying to overthrow the government or anything. All right, so we're going to get into gameplay here in just a second. They have all spawned in, and oh, there we go.
Alrighty, and we are off to the races.
And remember, Faulkner blue side this time.
Yes.
So for those of you watching at home,
proper color.
We are our correct color now.
Everyone doing their normal 5-point guard, just checking the entrances to the jungle.
That's right.
Yawn, my bad, y'all. Not want to let anyone.
Yeah, Seth, it says minions
no.
spawn, not minions yawn.
That's a tad unfortunate. Raptor Klaw flashing away.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, he does have to burn Flash to get away from the Darius, but Darius does also burn Sprint.
Well, and it's also worthy to note that both of his buddies showed up and were like, no, you don't either. So
yeah,
that was fun.
Both sides just quickly moving in. Very good timing on Raptor Klaw. Did a good job. Got back just in time to
He's actually going to beat his minions back.
Yeah, he's going to be right there with his minions. Darius just sitting back, cool, calm, collected, just waiting, seeing like, hey, I dare someone else to step up. Darius definitely probably one of, if not the strongest champ at level 1.
By the way, since I'm going to rib the opponents a little bit, did you know that God actually named Iowa?
No, I did not.
Yeah, that's where it comes from, God. Ooh. It stands for Iowa the World and Apology.
Raptor Klaw has to be careful here. Does not want to let Darius get stacked up on him. Doing a good job just standing back. CS.
Yeah, they're going pretty even on the minion.
Throwing out that Q, able to just get out that.
He actually is able to basically force him to back off, which is nice.
Is able a little bit, but Darius does hit level 2 first. And something to note, while it did look like Orn was winning, in the short term that was true. If you look at the HP bars a little bit later, Orn had actually bled to being even.
Yeah,
that's not losing a little bit.
That's why it sucks to have to fight a Darius, because you're like, where did my HP go? And it's gone.
This is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Darius hit level 3. Raptor Klaw most likely about to die here.
No, he does get out. Probably going to have to back, but
dies. I'm pretty sure he dies to the bleed.
You think so?
Or no. Okay, I think he hit level 3. No, he didn't. Okay, crazy. He actually just survived.
Darius is going to get a little bit of... he's not going to quite get to the first plate, but he's going to get a little damage on our tower.
Orange is stinky. Frisbee having to be very careful. I will say the opposing team has a very, very strong early game team. Silas has a dash and stun all in one built into his level 1. Just very, very strong early
And I'm a little surprised that Ethan doesn't try to back here, but...
he can't, due to wave control.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Due to how the wave is, he can't actually afford to back yet.
Yeah, because...
he has to try and stay there, at least get the XP from the waves. Just stay under tower.
Oh, and Frisbee goes...
It does look like we're going to get a gank attempt here in the mid lane.
Silas gets first blood, but Imblu cleans up.
Yeah, I'd say Silas does get first blood, but Imblu again does clean up. Raptor Klaw has done a good job just standing back. Something I will say, something I forgot to note. Orn, the only champion that can actually make his own items in lane.
That's right.
Which, if you notice, the very first item he got was were these beads. I don't remember what they're called. I think they're just called regen beads. Basically, they just increase your regen speed by 100%. And that's why he's suddenly, essentially at half HP, essentially even with the Darius.
Which honestly does make sense. If you're playing a character like Darius that relies on his bleed so much, having regen is very helpful.
Yeah, it's not a ton, but over time it let him, catch up after just the fight not going on for a little bit. Really good stun there. Heal coming out for the movement speed burst and healing. So they were able to burn the heal summoner spell on Karma.
You're seeing that there's a lot of back and forth there. They're trying to really fill each other out, which is pretty common for bot lane. But it does seem like Iowa State's bot lane is pushed up a little further.
Oh yeah, they've definitely had the ability to push up. Definitely doesn't necessarily mean they're in a winning position. Just means like the wave it's on their turn to push.
Yep. Now we've got a little bit more wave clear though, since we've got a stack of minions coming.
Dragon is up, and we are currently.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Frisbee trying to run. Silas actually took his ult and pushed him back towards his own tower, which was unfortunate.
But Ramen does go down to FrisbeeMeniscus, and they're trying to go for a steal here on Dragon. Is the Faulkner team going to be able to do that?
I was about to say, they really just need to...
Oh, no. And they not only get Dragon, but Feet of Warfare.
No,
blue team gets the Dragon.
They did get the Feet of Warfare off it, but we did get the Dragon.
And it looks like they're going to try to take out our support here.
Yeah,
ooh, and they do.
Unfortunately, just the stun and ability to crawl through walls come in very handy there.
Yeah, Raptor Klaw. So while we do wind up getting a steal on the Dragon, unfortunately, we do have 2 of ours go down as a result.
Imblu really wanted those last little bit of CS from the Krugs. Ended up being able to get them, did die for it.
Yeah, Faulkner now winning in the objectives, but very low when it comes to in gold, especially this early. To be in a 3K gold disadvantage kind of sucks.
Tis about very unfortunate. All things considered, it's definitely something we can kind of pull back from, but we have to be very, very careful. We are suffering in the CS department in every lane except for jungle and mid lane.
Yeah, we got 20 seconds until Grubs. And now our own bot lane's starting to push up a little bit, getting real close to tower. Josh really needs some CS right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's focused on. He's grabbing the minions, just doing his best. The opposing support is up here trying to help with these grubs. I do worry this is going to be a 4v3. We really kind of need to back off.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have to give these grubs, and it looks like we're kind of learning our lesson from game 1. Just letting them essentially have these.
Yeah, and unfortunately it doesn't look like Grubs are going to get them low enough on HP for us to get a pick off of it either. Though I'm blue going to go for it. It looks like he's in
less
trouble.
Going for it and more that...
Oh, no. Yep, and Ramen's able to take down the Vi.
A bit of an unfortunate situation where one person got caught out and everyone on our team tried to kind of trickle in to help him, but just kind of got caught out themselves in the process.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where it would have probably just been better for them to cut their losses, honestly.
I mean, that's what they were doing.
No, I know they did it on the Grubs. I'm just saying, like, after that death probably would have been like, well, that sucks, and just move on instead of trying to jump in and help.
Yeah, essentially what the correct choice there, in quotation marks, would have been to just let Imblu die.
Yeah. Which I know you hate, because you hate to leave your buddy hanging like that, but...
Because it's one of the situations that also looked like, it was very, very close to being able to be turned around.
Yeah.
But there were just too many allies close by, and Silas just has too much of an ability to heal. I'm sorry, y'all.
An ability you apparently don't have.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do that since September started.
Yep.
When did fall start? Yeah,
I don't know. Are you getting better?
No.
No? No, that sucks. Y'all pray for Seth. He's having a rough time.
I love the fall. My lungs don't.
Story of your life. Yeah, Surgeon of Death doing a good job of trying to stay just out of their range, but it looks like LeMoniker might be in trouble here.
I was about to say, very, very good ult from Nico there, keeping Moniker alive. That being said, I think Moniker might still end up...
Oh, man, he's so close!
They're doing everything they can. Moniker weaving and dodging. Unfortunately, just barely not able to get away. And unfortunately, this is going to turn into a triple kill for the opposing team.
Oh, man. That's so frustrating because their guys were down super, super low, but we weren't able to, like, target priority and get one kill off of it.
I mean, we were doing a really good job of kind of focusing.
Well, there you go.
That was funny.
That was funny.
Unfortunately, it's a situation that's significantly better for Silas than it is for Azir. Unfortunately, Azir kind of folds to his own ult. He is not good against himself.
That is a problem. Imblu gonna try to get a...
Trying to get in here, trying to make moves, but unfortunately he's 4 levels down.
Yeah, it's just really...
Silas.
It's really, really hard to make that. And you look at the opposing team, basically all of them have a decent bounty on them except for the Darius.
I was about to say, the struggle here, Moniker trying to run from the Ashe, but just, you can't.
No, Ashe's range is too good.
And the fact that Ashe has slows on all her autos, it just literally makes it impossible to run away. Silas just stole someone's ult there. I was not paying attention as to who.
I did not see.
Unfortunately, we do lose Boots there. Vi's ult.
And it looks like they're probably going to take Dragon mostly uncontested.
Yeah, not much we can do. Silas just able to stand there and essentially block our team from being able to help.
Yeah, red team's able to take down the Hex Drake.
Unfortunate there. Ethan trying to stun the Darius. Just to tack on a little bit of damage and back off. But the Darius actually was able to hook him in the middle of his charge.
Which is just rude, but...
One of those situations where it's kind of like the last person to throw out their ability is the one that wins.
Oh, and looks like they're going to go for a gank here, but the Darius is too fast.
Darius able to use sprint to get himself out of there.
We fight so that we may run away. Le Moniker.
All right, turret plate has gone down. These towers are going to be significantly squishier now.
Oh, by the way, Davis's dad says, "Get well soon, Seth." So we do have someone in the chat.
I will do my best. No promises.
Oh, and he also asked, "Are we playing Iowa or Iowa State?" It's Iowa State.
All right, good gank here on the Darius. It takes 3.
Yeah, there we go.
Down, but we take him down, and that is a very, very solid shutdown for Faulkner. I just realized Darius is actually 0, 1, and 2. His first death bet, all he had were 2 assists, and outside of that, he's just been CSing like mad.
They're going to have to kill this
Orn
Rift
has done
Herald
a really
fast.
good job of just not feeding, essentially.
Yep.
He's done a very good job just staying under tower, keeping safe, CSing as much as he can.
Yeah, they're going to have to kill this Rift Herald fast, though, because now we've got...
unfortunately, yeah, we do just kind of lose this. Imblu trying to go back in. Tried getting the smite. Just barely not able to get there in time or get it low enough to smite it.
And Frisbee tries his best, but he's just not able to do anything against that Silas.
Yeah, Silas, unfortunately, very, very... has a lot of healing. Nico tried to get in and ult the Ashe, but the Ashe unfortunately just barely had flash to get herself out. We are currently about 8k gold down. That is a massive difference, especially this early.
Yeah. Faulkner may be in a situation to where even though they plan to be stronger in the late game, they're going to have to pull off a miracle here to even get to the late game.
Yeah, the problem is that essentially the opponent's late game will start here in about 4 to 10 minutes, and ours at this rate will start. Yeah, the opposing game their late game will start here in about 4 to 5 minutes, and ours will start in about 10.
Yeah. So even if our late game is better, it's going to take us a minute to get there. Yeah.
Very good
shutdown on the Silas, yeah.
Very good shutdown on the Silas. Unfortunately, does still go down for it. Orn coming in, trying to do his best. Very good cleanup on that Darius. Orn has done an amazing job of just standing back and doing his best to keep up, and it really shows there.
Mm-hmm.
Darius not really overwhelmingly strong right now.
Now, that did wind up essentially being an even trade, but it's important to note that they had bounties, we did not, so we did gain a little more from killing them than they did from us.
We are now only, we are less than 6k gold down now.
Yeah, so it's progress.
No, 8. We're 8 still. Never mind, I can math.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's still the same. Roughly. Still not as bad still as it was looking.
And they're going to dive in.
Woo. Monitor going in.
Nice!
Okay. Good picks here from Faulkner.
Are they going to be able to take down the Ashe?
Unfortunately,
Imblu takes down Ramen.
Okay. Okay, Frisbee does end up dying here. Can Orn take out this? Probably can't. He would win if they kept fighting, but not going to be able to catch him.
Yeah, he's just
I will say, I do
enough.
think that means we win Dragon.
Probably.
Imblu is still alive. Unfortunately,
the Ashe could try a steal here.
Ashe is very strong. Right now, she is 4-0.
And she also does a ton of damage, so stealing with a high damage champion is a little easier because you have a higher probability of getting it.
I mean, she's not going to be able to outsmite Imblu. The biggest problem right now is, can we get this kill?
Now we're in trouble.
All right.
All right.
Very good pick on the Ashe. Unfortunately, Silas is back. He stills the ult.
Oh, no. And Imblu goes down as well. And that's going to result in red team getting the...
give them Dragon. Silas, unfortunately, able to get up and TP in before we're able to take it. Oh, y'all, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, that's been kind of indicative of the whole game, where Faulkner can win battles, but ultimately Iowa State's been winning the war. So, like, we can get really good picks, we can make really good plays, but at the end of the day, the thing that we're doing those to try to get, they wind up taking the objective.
Yeah, it ended up just being an unfortunate situation of the only 2 people that were left alive were kind of our 2 lowest damage dealers. We didn't have 2 of our lower damage dealers. Orn just not really designed to be dealing damage. He does have damage, but mostly what he does is he has a ton of crowd control. He has a lot of utility, and he's tanky, but is not really a damage dealer. Vi does have a lot of burst damage, but it's not necessarily the sustained DPS to take the dragon out fast. It does look like we are going to go for Otacon here, and the opposing team, I don't think they actually know we're on it right now, so there's a chance we can actually sneakily get this, especially with all 5 players on it. Silas is coming down. Actually, the entire opposing team is coming down, but I think as long as we're careful, we should be able to get this before the opposing team can stop us. Yeah, there we go. We actually get Otacon. Very well played from Faulkner, and a good pick on the Silas. We do have to be careful, and this is why, unfortunately, we do end up going down. Just the sustained damage from the Ash, crazy. We are just barely not able to keep up.
Yeah, right now we just can't really win any team fights.
But we do actually get the Thornbound Otacon. That is a good objective for us to get here.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a breath of hope that Faulkner desperately needed. So it's good that they were able to get that. Now we're just going to have to figure out a way to push back on them, because we have not even taken a first tower yet.
We just don't really have that much push. We do have champions that could push, but they just haven't had the opportunity. Azir is one of those champs that kind of has a lot of push potential, but he's really been kept locked down by the Silas. That being said, the opposing team getting a little overconfident here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And we do get a shutdown on Kaizen. That is on Skarner, which goes to the Kaizen, which is very, very good.
Yeah, Frisbee needs to be careful. Yeah, Frisbee goes down.
He does his best, but unfortunately... Oh, unfortunate. I did not realize that the Silas had stolen the Ornal and actually really hurt.
Yeah, I thought it was Orin's ult. I didn't realize it was Silas.
Unfortunately, I think our entire team did, which is why we all got very surprised when we started taking damage from it. I think almost everyone died from that Ornal. Imblu doing a good job pushing the opposing team back. Clearing the wave does a good job, forces out the Zonia's Hourglass from Silas, or the arm guard actually.
Never falter.
Yeah, I don't know that that was a great exchange on Iowa State's part. They definitely did some damage, but it seems like they took it on the chin a little bit more.
They are about 11K up in gold right now.
Yep.
So you can't say they're doing poorly.
No, I'm just saying they can afford some mistakes like that at this point because of how far ahead they are. But I do think that they probably should have held back a little longer, maybe waited for Baron buff to make that push.
They dealt a lot of damage, which is the big thing. It's going to be very hard for us to leave our base.
Yep.
Just because of how... Ooh, Raptor Klaw, unfortunately, very likely to die here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the case.
Just going to apply as much damage as he can. Oh!
Oh!
He does still
look at Sturgeon of Death!
But he is able to knock Darius low enough that our team's able to come in and clean him up.
And it looks like another team fight going to be happening here.
As much as possible, we kind of want to avoid this one right now.
Uh-huh. And it looks like everyone is trying to get out. LaMonica unfortunately does go down. Man, that Ash range is just insane. It almost doesn't even make sense to run away from it because of how far it reaches.
Well, it's a mixture of like the range and just the stun and the slow. The slow is the big thing.
Yep.
Her range is pretty average for an ADC. It's just it's just the slows.
Yeah, and red team does take third dragon. And it looks like Baron's about to spawn. Baron has spawned.
It does look like red team is currently making their way to Baron. Faulkner, at this point, we have so much pressure coming in our lanes from where our inhibitors have been broken. The super minion's just doing so much damage, so having so much pushing power.
Right.
We're kind of forced to just sit back and give this.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's unfortunate, but if we were to try to challenge them on it, just history has shown that there's not much we could get out of it anyway, so we would be just giving up more than we would be gaining. It's too high risk for the reward.
Basically, we could go in and try and challenge it, but if we do, it's probably going to lead to a team fight that we would very likely lose, and if everyone's dead, we lose.
Right, and that's another problem that you run into as well.
Which it does look like we're going to try and go in. Unfortunately, we tried going for the steal. We just barely did not get it. Azir and Ornn are going to back off and just try and keep our base alive.
Yep, which...
That being said, can Azir get away?
With Baron buff, I'm not sure if we can survive this, honestly.
Especially with Azir going down there. He tried running, but Ash ult coming in.
Yeah, most of our turrets are down. We've got to make a last stand here.
Ornn's going to be doing his best to just do what he can here.
They melted that turret so quickly, though.
They melted Ornn so quickly.
Yeah,
and this is game. Everyone's down. Nico's the only one up. She's doing her best. We get a shutdown, but it is not enough.
Yeah.
Our team, they did their best. Unfortunately, those games, early game just kind of snowballed a little too hard.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can lose early game and still win it, but there is a certain point to where if early game goes way too far in the other team's favor, then there's not a whole lot you can do to come back from it.
Yeah, and the opposing team had both times they had very good snowball comps. They had early game champs that did really well with getting ahead, and they were able to get ahead. And I will say, with League of Legends, once you get to that late game, once you get to a certain point, it's almost impossible to really make a comeback because League of Legends is a game of small increments. There is not really a way to have a catch-up all in one go. Even if you have a full opposing, the only way, like, big catch-up you have is, like, you suddenly have a team fight, and then you randomly almost have your entire team win a team fight, even though they're behind, and get 5 kills and 0 deaths, and that can catch you up pretty well.
Right, but that's very hard to do when you're already 3 or 4 levels below everyone else.
Yeah, I was about to say, but when everyone on your team is that much weaker than everyone else, the likelihood of that happening is beyond low and requires some severe mistakes on your opponent's part and some incredible playing on your part.
Well, that's the thing, too. This is definitely a game that takes a lot of skill. However, because of the way the leveling system works and because of the way the math checks out, a significantly less skilled player can beat a more skilled player after they're far enough ahead. And so,
depending a little bit on champs and like,
right. And now, like that. Granted, getting to that level to where you can do that is also a skill in and of itself. I'm just saying that, like, if you're 3 or 4 levels ahead of somebody, even if they're the better player and can outmaneuver you, you can deal enough damage or have enough defense or whatever it is that it really almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's generally like you're not going to be able to win one-on-one. It has to be when a team gets ahead, or when one side gets ahead, generally the team has to come together to pick off individuals to catch everyone back up.
You get some picks and then you start.
Unfortunately, what happened in this game is essentially the opposing team, they were very, very well coordinated. They got ahead and they stuck together, so we could never pick anyone off.
And even when they were alone, when we would get a pick, they would have 1 or 2 teammates close enough by that then they could come by, collapse on us, and then it didn't make a difference because we would have killed one of theirs, but then they killed both of our guys that went for that. So it was one of those situations where there was not a great answer to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head to the post-game show in just a second. Unfortunately, Faulkner does go down to the Hawkeyes by a score of 2-0. We'll be right back with that post-game interview.
Faulkner University's online executive MBA program is now accepting applications. Earn your Master of Business Administration in as little as a year. Advance your career and apply today at faulkner.edu.
My name is Mike Harridge, and I teach computer science at Faulkner. Computer science at Faulkner is dramatically changing right now. It's an exciting time to be here. We're adding new students, which is exciting for all of us, but we're also growing in the content in which we deliver. We're adding new courses, we're adding new curriculums. It's a time that things seem to be really exciting and things seem to be really changing rapidly inside of our field. Computer science will always be a rapidly evolving field. Everything from artificial intelligence to cybersecurity will always drive us to excellence. But here at Faulkner, we embrace that change as opposed to ignore it. Many of our students find their niche in the computer science world by coming here, and that's what we hope to really drive that love of computer science into our students here. I'm telling you, of any place you want to be to learn computer science, Faulkner is the place to be right now.
Preparing leaders for the River Region and beyond, Faulkner University's Harris College of Business is distinctively different, focusing on ethics and character development in the classroom and building ethical foundations with our new Ethics Institute. Living the mission of Faulkner University to glorify God through education of the whole person, emphasizing integrity of character in a caring Christian environment where every individual matters every day.
As a student at the Harris College of Business, I saw firsthand the mission of Faulkner University. My professors there not only taught me, but they also mentored me. They encouraged me. They cared for me. They instilled character and integrity into me. I mattered every day. That mission hasn't changed. Harris College of Business continues to provide its students with the tools they need to succeed in today's business world.
All right, and we're back for the post-game show. Faulkner coming off of a loss to Iowa State University, and unfortunately not able to put much together this evening. Winds up going down by a score of 2-0. But here to give us a little bit of insight as to what happened is our very own Imblu, Seth McGaughy.
Hello.
So we do still have Seth. It's just a different Seth.
Yeah.
But
they traded.
We did. So Seth, it seemed like in that first game, you were doing fine really up until the Void Grubs incident, and you, after that, just had a real hard time coming back, or it seemed like every victory, which there were some, y'all had some good stuff in there.
There were definitely some great fights, yeah.
But it seemed like every time that happened, something terrible happened to offset it. And so what was dealing with that like, and what was the problem with that? You know, after the Void Grub thing, it just seemed like you guys could never really make a comeback.
Yeah, so definitely game one, we got countered pretty hard in draft, especially me and Ethan.
Yeah.
Countered pretty hard in draft by like the Ramus pick and stuff like that, which then spiraled into they were more readily able to rotate two objectives like Void Grubs when we could not do anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there were multiple times where we had just ended up in unbalanced fights, and unfortunately.
Yeah, I would say, especially in that first one, and you can speak to this being a jungler and a Ramus, someone who plays Ramus quite a bit yourself.
Yeah.
It is really, really annoying because it felt like he was just able to gank no matter what happened, because even when just in a normal top lane fight, Urgot would come close to getting a kill, Ramus would come in and sweep up, and it seemed like he was in two places at once the whole game.
Yeah, that's partially the reason why we kept on banning the Nunu out in draft, because I was worried about that exact issue of the hyper perma gank all the time, running in lanes all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it had to have been really frustrating. And then the second game, I felt like that you guys were going pretty even for the first part of it again, but they had picked a comp that snowballs really hard. And then by that time, you guys had a comp that it just seemed like to me y'all were going for having a really strong mid and late game.
Yeah.
But the mid and late game never really came because they were already like 3 or 4 levels ahead of you pretty much the rest of the game. So
yeah, they ended up being about 1,000 gold up on each of us individually.
Mm-hmm. And that's just a really big hole to climb out of.
Yeah.
Another thing that I saw was an issue, and maybe you could tell us what was going on here. It seemed as though, and I don't know if it was just an issue of vision or team coordination or what, but there would be times where you would try to get those picks, but as soon as you would start attacking one of the characters that seemed like he was alone, another team member would show up and basically, even if you wound up getting the kill, they would negate that.
A lot of that was just because I noticed that they kept on buying control wards like over and over again, and every single objective, every single like play that they were going to go for, they put all their control wards down around the objective, so we literally couldn't go there without being seen, and they were also in the same breath denying us vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know there was that one fight. I want to say it was the Kim Dragon that y'all wound up getting into a fight and wound up winning.
Yeah.
But then they wound up cleaning you up immediately afterward. And so it didn't completely negate it, but it certainly made it to where that was not nearly as big as an advantage or a turning point as it could have been.
Yeah.
So, well, ultimately just a really tough night. This was a really good team, but we'll be able to be back here in a little bit, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and let me double check this, I think we've already secured a playoff victory. Yeah, we've already got 4 victories, so we should be in the playoffs anyway. So hopefully, if we're able to face this team again this season, we'll have a better sense of what they're doing and be better at picking. Because I know you... that was one thing that really threw me off in that first game, is we were going through pick bands and I saw Viego and I'm like, who do we have on the team that plays Viego? Like, I didn't even know what was going on there.
I play him sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
For funsies.
I've not seen you play him a lot though. Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for giving us a little insight. We got to wrap it up here because we got a Smash Bros. Black game coming up in a little less than an hour. That actually is the next broadcast, so it'll be against the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So it's going to be Eagles versus Tar Heels tonight, and that is going to be at 9. So we'll be off the air for probably about 40, 50 minutes, and then we're going to be right back here. And you're actually my partner for that one, right? So
I am.
Yeah, so Seth and I will still be here. We'll still be talking to you.
It'll just anywhere.
It'll just be about Smash Bros.
Yep.
But we've got that coming up, so be sure to check that out. That's later this evening. The next League of Legends game is going to be us versus High Point University, and that's going to be the Panthers. Now, this is what we've requested. We're not sure about this one yet. They're talking about, we were asking for November 4th at 6. I think they said they're not going to be able to do that, so it could be a weird situation where it's a game where we don't have a broadcast for it or something like that. We're not sure. I'm not in any way throwing shade to High Point. They seem like nice guys. It's just they have a lot on their plate as well, and so being able to balance both of those schedules has been a bit of a challenge. So tentatively Tuesday, November 4th, but we're working on a date that works for everybody on that, so be sure to check that out as well. Special thanks to everybody that was helping out with everything tonight. We want to give a big thanks to Seth DeJean Jr., who was doing a great job on production, pressing all the right buttons and making sure that we don't look jerks on like jerks on the air, so we appreciate him doing that as well. And then for color commentary and my broadcast partner, Seth Dawson, we appreciate him being there and doing a great job, playing hurt, even though he was feeling a little under the weather. Hopefully he's getting better. He thought he had kicked this, but he said as soon as I started talking, I started coughing again. So hopefully when we see him again, he'll be in good spirits and have his lungs taken care of. I hope so. Of course, I'm your play-by-play announcer and head coach Caleb Colquitt, saying so long from Regitar USA High-Res Arena, and thank you so much for being here with this game for the final time. Unfortunately, Faulkner not able to come up with a win against the Hawkeyes. They lose to Iowa State by a score of 2-0. So that is going to be it. We'll be back in about an hour for that Smash Bros. Black game against North Carolina. Until that time, stay the course, friends.
The preceding broadcast was an official presentation of Faulkner University. It may not be redistributed without the express written consent of the Faulkner University Athletic Department. Regitar USA High-Res Arena is sponsored by Regitar USA. The national anthem was performed by the Faulkner University Chorus. If you would like to learn more about the Faulkner Esports program, visit our official website at faulknereagles.com or follow us on Discord, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram for all the latest news and events. Thank you for watching, and soar Eagles!